Welcome to the Am I the Asshole podcast. Let's get into it. Today, we're going to be talking about exposing cheating husbands. Let's get into it. Am I the asshole for exposing my cheating husband? I, 35 female, recently discovered that my husband, 38 male, has been cheating on me with his coworker. I confronted him about it, and he admitted to the affair. Feeling hurt, angry, and betrayed, I decided to take action. I collected evidence of their relationship, including text messages and photos, and shared it on social media, tagging both my husband and his coworker. I wanted the truth to be out there for everyone to see the kind of person he truly is. Damn, she FBI'd that dude. She was like, I'm going to do my FBI work and I'm gonna blast you. Now my husband's family and some of our friends are furious with me for airing out personal issues publicly. They say I should have handled the situation privately and that I'm causing unnecessary drama. I mean, in a way, yes, but however, I feel like I had the right to expose his betrayal and hold him accountable for his actions. So am I the asshole for publicly exposing my cheating husband and potentially causing a rift among our friends and family? Oh, man. I mean, yes and no, because, like, she, of course, is in her rights because she's hurt and that's, like, fucked up. And I'm sure to her, she's just, like, so done with dude that it doesn't even matter. You know, I don't even know why she's asking, why does it matter between, like, what his family thinks, because you don't even want to be with the dude anymore anyway, so why do you want to be with him still? Or, I mean, care what his family thinks, sorry. But yeah, I don't really think she's an asshole too much, because, I mean, he kind of brought it upon himself. And the fact that she was able to find pictures, she was able to, I mean, what was it? She had found all kinds of shit. Text messages, photos, everything. And then she blasted it on social media. That's the funny part to me. She blasted it on social media like, damn, girl. I mean, I get that's a little unnecessary, but to her, it was probably necessary because she was probably pissed. She was just so done with homie. Yeah, I mean, that was kind of self-explanatory, but I mean, to her question, causing a rift between our friends and family. On the family side of it, yeah, they're going to take his side because that's their son at that, in that situation. So it's understandable. But damn, yeah. Woo. Oh, I don't think she's an asshole. She got hurt, and I understand it. Yeah, she got hurt about it. She's like, look, F you and your family and the girl you're sleeping with, all that shit. So, yeah. Oh, damn. All right. Second scenario we got going on here. Let's see. Am I the asshole for exposing my cheating husband? I recently discovered that my husband has been having an affair for several months. I was devastated. Damn, this dude was doing for months. I don't know how long the previous one was, but she explicitly said for months. I wonder if she knew for months and she was just kind of waiting, or if it was a thing where, like, she found out and was like, all right, yeah, no. Let's see. I was devastated when I found out and confronted him about it. He initially denied it, but eventually admitted to it when I presented him with evidence. Feeling hurt and betrayed, I confided in my close friends about what had happened. They encouraged me to expose his infidelity to our social circle, believing that he deserved to face the consequences of his action. Damn, his homegirls were on the her homegirls were on the panel like, Ooga chaga, expose him, kill him. Like, they wanted blood. They were like, he deserved to face the consequences. Like, damn. So I decided to share the truth with our mutual friends and family. Okay, I don't think she posted it online or anywhere, which is good, because, whew, that would have been a doozy. Like the other girl, she wanted to ruin his life. When I did, the reaction was mixed. Some people were supportive of me for standing up for myself and not letting him get away with his behaviors. Others accused me of being vindictive and airing out our private issues in public. My husband's family, in particular, was upset with me for embarrassing him and tarnishing his reputation. Now, I'm wondering if I should have handled things differently. Should I have kept the matter private and confronted him without involving others, or was exposing his cheating a justifiable response to his betrayal? Am I the asshole in this situation for publicly revealing his infidelity? Now, usually I would advocate for like, if the dude, if the guy in the relationship cheats, talk to him about it, see what it was, and because if it was just a thing where he went and had sex with her and that was it, it's like, talk to him about it, go through it, see if you can fix things. But for this dude, it was kind of like he was having a whole nother relationship, because she said for several months. So my thing is, yes, she probably should have kept it between them two first. And then maybe if they were broken up, then she could have been like, all right, I'm going to go ahead and, tell friends and family after we broken up, and not while we're still in a relationship and trying to, she's trying to figure out what she's going to do, I guess. So it's just, it's a little weird to me that she felt like she had to like expose everything. Like, she could have just walked away from it. She could have simply just confronted him, been like, you're this, and that. I can't believe you've been doing this for several months, and just let it be. And then after they're broken up and things like that, then she could have aired things out a little bit. And I think it would have been a little less of a mixed response like she got, because if she would have just left, I think it would have been more understandable for the family, because then they would have been like, oh wow, she got hurt so bad that she had to leave her marriage, because he was fooling around, not just one time, it was for months they had this affair. But at the same time, I would love to hear from the dude side, like, what made you go through the affair? You know what I mean? Was your girl being annoying? Was your girl, just, were you tired of her? Were you not attracted to her anymore? Was it a thing of just, it's some new, strange? Have they been in a relationship for years, upon years? Like, I'm talking 15, 20 years, and maybe, the relationship kind of got boring, because that's what I want to know. Like, where are the juicy details, that can kind of help analyze it a little better? Because yes, she's asking a simple question of, was I wrong for airing it out? Not while you're in the marriage or in the relationship, because you could have just done all that after you got the divorce, after you left. It would have been a little easier. It would have been a little more understandable from like the third person perspective. Also, with them, it's different for us, because for us, we don't have all the information that I said. How many years were they together? Were you guys having a boring relationship? Were you guys going through a rough patch in that time? Did you feel like it? Because that kind of stuff matters to the context of what's going on, and it would help us out just to figure out, like, all right, what was going on in his head to make him cheat for months. I mean, that was months. That's kind of wild that she didn't find out for months. I mean, usually women are the better ones when it comes to affairs and cheating, because they can hide it a little better, and guys are just kind of oblivious to it. But I guess he was sneaky enough to get away with it. She might have just not really looked into it or paid attention to it. She might have just been super blind to it, like, oh, everything is fine, oh my god, he loves me. So, all right, let's get on to our next one. Am I the asshole for exposing my cheating husband? All right. Ooh, we got a little background. This is going to be nice that we have a little background. to the scenario. So background, I recently discovered that my husband has been cheating on me for months with a coworker. I've struggled with feelings of betrayal, hurt, and anger. Faced with this situation, I decided to take matters into my own hands. Okay. One day, I discovered evidence of my husband's affair, including text messages and photos exchanged between him and his coworker. I confronted him about it, and he admitted to the affair, apologizing but claiming it was a mistake. He promised to end the affair and work on our marriage. However, my trust was shattered, and I felt the need to protect myself and our family's well-being. Feeling hurt and betrayed, I decided to reveal the truth to our closest friends and family members. I wanted their support and advice on how to handle the situation. Furthermore, I posted a vague social media status about the betrayal and deceit without explicitly naming my husband or the affair. Okay, and we'll get into that. Oh my God. Some mutual friends and acquaintances started asking questions and piecing things together. Eventually, the truth came out, and our social circle learned about my husband's infidelity. Result: many people empathized with my pain and supported me through this difficult time. However, some of my husband's friends and family members accused me of being vindictive and causing unnecessary drama. They argued that I should have kept the matter private to protect our family's reputation and our children from unnecessary stress. Yo, they got children. Oh, am I the asshole? While I sought emotional support and shared my opinion with those close to me, some might argue that I should have handled the situation more discreetly to protect my husband's reputation and preserve our family's privacy. Others might understand that my actions were a result of intense emotional pain and need for support during a challenging period. All right. This one is perfect. Why? Because we have all the details. We got the juice. Okay, let's take it from the top. Now, she found out, right? She found out about the infidelity and all that kind of stuff. She brought it to him. He admitted to it. I mean, I think he lied about it first. I believe so. Oh, no, he just admitted to it. Okay. No, he just straight admitted to it and was like, hey, I apologize. It was a one-time thing. See, I always advocate for a woman, if you're married and you get cheated on, if it's just a thing, he just went out and had sex with some random chick or whatever, at least talk to him, because a lot of guys, I would say majority of guys, are going to be like him. They're going to be like, I fucked up. It was bad. I know I didn't mean to do it. It was something that happened, whatever the case may be. And she even said that they were trying to work on the marriage. Now, I understand you're still hurt and you're still upset and all that kind of stuff, but, if he didn't love you the way you thought that he did or anything like that, he wouldn't be trying to fix the marriage. He wouldn't have married you in the first place. All these factors wouldn't have happened if he didn't love you. I think this was just a lapse in judgment on his side, and he just went with the flow, and, the opportunity was there, and he just kind of took the opportunity. And I personally think that she should have just worked on the marriage. She should have done her best to let it go, put the man on thin ice. Sure, do what you're going to do, put him on thin ice. Check his phone, all that kind of stuff, have access to his social media, whatever makes you feel comfortable. But you don't need to be airing it out, especially because you have kids. That makes it worse. You're going to be airing out your family shit like that for the internet. Okay, for the internet. Like, internet nowadays does not mean what the internet used to mean. Like, the internet you could do that whole anonymous, vague post, back in the early 2000s, maybe even the 2010s, and you could get away with it. Nobody would know. But nowadays, man, you got some FBI ninjas out here, and they will dig and dig and dig to find out who these people are, because let's just keep it undope. There are those people out there that just have no fucking time, or all kinds of time on their hand, and they want to look into this kind of stuff. And that's exactly what they did. And that's how her family got exposed. Her kids probably got put out there. You know what I mean? Because kids nowadays have access to, a phone by the time, they're 6 or 7 years old, maybe even younger than that. And so I'm sure they're seeing this stuff and they're like, oh my God, I go to school with this kid. Like, oh my God, isn't this just your parents, you know? And it's just like, hey, Johnny, look, you know, your dad was out here macking on some hoes. Like, you know what I mean? And so it's one of those things where it's like, if you have kids and you have family and your husband is working on it, I would say give him the benefit of the doubt, you know, and if it gets to a point where you can't accept it, you just keep it private, you get a divorce, you leave, you know, and deal with the kids in the court and how you're going to do that. That is my thing. You know, she shouldn't have aired it out. He was trying to work on it. He knew he fucked up. You know, I say put him on thin ice. You know, have his social medias, all this kind of stuff. Check his phone. You know what I mean? Just do what you need to feel comfortable. You know, and then just work on it from there. You know, and keep it private because you guys have kids, and if that kind of stuff gets aired out, then it's just like, it's going to fall back on him. It's going to fall back on your kids. It's going to fall back on you. It's going to fall back on your family. It's going to fall back on a lot. It's only going to be negative for you airing it out, even if it's vague. Like, there are ninjas out there that'll find it. They'll find out who you are, and they'll be like, oh, did you see so-and-so? You know? So, yeah, that was an L on her end. She really shouldn't have done that. But you know, you live and you learn, and honestly, even for her, leaving her husband is kind of an L too, because it's like, if she does divorce her husband, it's going to be really hard for her to date again, you know, because then I can guarantee you most of the time the kids are going to go to her, and it's going to suck for him big time because now he's going to have to pay alimony and child support. You know, so I'm sure, and I can guarantee you that's why he's like, I apologize. Oh shit, I'm so sorry. You know, let's work on our marriage. I'm going to work on it because he knows how destructive that's going to be for him. He knows for a factual that that's going to just destroy him. And he's like, I rather, you know, bite the bullet, say I fucked up, be embarrassed, than go through a divorce and have to pay alimony and child support, not see my kids, and go through all that headache. Like, why am I going to do all that? That's hell in a handbasket for a man, you know, and that's why I always tell women that if your dude cheats on you, and it's not like he's been having an affair for months or, you know, he's giving this girl a relationship. If he's not doing any of that, okay, give it a little bit. See if he's got it in him. Yes, be mad. Yes, be upset. I'm not saying you should be okay with it. I'm just saying that you should make it work with the guy that you want. You know, obviously this is the guy that you love. You found him attractive. Of course other females are going to find him attractive. Like, that's just the way it is. If you have an attractive guy, other females are going to find him attractive. So, you know, you kind of almost have to expect him to fuck up, if I'm being honest with you. You're going to have to expect that sometimes. And I know that's tough and it's a hard pill to swallow, but ladies, that's what it is. You know, you're going to have to expect that sometimes. Like I said, I just feel she's in the wrong on the aspect of she aired it out to the public and didn't keep it just private. That's where she's wrong. I don't want to make it seem like, oh no, he's in the right. She should have just accepted the cheating. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying that she was wrong in exposing it because he was trying to work on the relationship. He was trying to make it better. He was trying to make amends. You know, she should have took that and at least seen where it went. And if it went nowhere and, you know, she couldn't get past cheating or whatever, leave, do your thing, go through the divorce. But if you could have gotten past it, you know, everything would have been solid. But yeah, that's just how she went with it. All right. The next, am I the asshole for exposing my cheating husband? All right, we got a little background. I recently discovered that my husband has been having an affair for several months. I felt betrayed and hurt by his actions. I confronted him about it, and he admitted to it. We have 2 kids and seemingly happy life, but his infidelity shattered my trust in him. Ooh, we got some more kids in the way. All right, finding out about his affair, I struggled with my emotions and whether to confront him or keep it to myself. Eventually, I decided to expose his cheating to our close friends and family. Oh, she went to the friends and family first before him? girl, what are you doing? I felt that everyone had a right to know the truth, especially because we have built a strong support network over the years. I was hurt and angry, and I wanted to make sure he faced the consequences of his actions. Why didn't she confront him first? She went straight for the jugular and was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm just going to go for everybody that supports us. Because I think she wanted to go for the jugular first, so that way she had the leverage going into this fight. She wanted to be like, okay, I want to get all my friends and all our friends and family, our support system, like she said, over the years, on my side. That way, when I confront him, he's going to cave and I'm going to have all the leverage in this fight. He's going to have nothing to say back. Like, she's kind of sly for that one. Man. I mean, I get it. She did say that he was having an affair for several months. So I do understand. This is not in the situation like last time where, dude's trying to fix it and it was just a one-time thing. If this is for several months, he was giving this girl a relationship, the side chick was creeping up to try to be main, and that's where I feel cheating is really unacceptable. It's a one and done at that point. If he's giving another girl a relationship and all that kind of stuff, I get it. Men want variety and women, want quality, and I understand that. But if you don't base that premise in the beginning with a girl and say, hey, look, I want you as my main girl and then I want side girls, and she's okay with that, you got to preface that in the beginning. I understand, a lot of these guys out here be selling the dream and, having the side chicks on there, doing all that. But, yeah, you got to keep it honest and preface that from the beginning. But, okay. So, the post guaranteed a lot of attention, and friends and family reached out to offer their support and encouragement. See what I mean? She wanted that leverage. She wanted everybody on her side, so that way when she went into that fight, she had all the leverage, and she was just going to be on his ass too. However, some people thought I had gone too far by airing out private issues on social media. They believed I should have kept this matter within our family and perhaps sought out professional help to work through it. Am I the asshole? I understand that exposing my husband's infidelity public might have been seen as a drastic move. Some people felt it was unnecessary and I could potentially harm our kids in the long run. However, my intention was never to harm him or our family, but rather to express my pain, seek support, and let people know the truth about our situation. In the moment of intense emotion and betrayal, I decided that has sparked controversy. Am I the asshole for publicly exposing my cheating husband? See, I think a lot of these women, they have the epiphany too late. I get it. Women are very emotional creatures, and they're going to allow their emotions to kind of run and dictate their decision making and what they want to do, because a lot of these women are literally making that rash decision to go talk to their friends and post on social media and blow it up to strangers. And then they come to themselves and they're like, oh, dang, because the lashback is not only coming back on him. Yes, he cheated, but it's also coming back on her because you're airing out private matters that involve her family as well as his family. I feel like she should have confronted him first. Then she should have talked to him about it and see if they'd want to fix the relationship and whatnot, and go through that. She could have sought help from friends and family, but she could have done it in a way where, like, look, I really love him. I really want to be with him. I really care about him because he's my husband. We got married for a reason. I know he loves me and he just kind of fucked up. I understand it was several months, but she could have got another perspective. That's the big key right there. She could have got another perspective. For me, if I was in her shoes, the several months thing, I wouldn't have even aired it out or went to anybody else. I would have just asked for a divorce, filed, and that would have been that, taken the kids and just gone. Because, obviously he wants a relationship with this girl and that's that. But for her, it seems like she had a lot of regret doing it and was just like, damn, maybe things could have went differently. Maybe I could have done something different. Maybe I could, you know what I mean? Like, you can tell in the back of her mind, she was kind of thinking like, damn, I could have maybe saved my marriage a little bit. And I think, and that's why I give that opinion of what she could have done is just brought it to the friends and family, try to get perspective and be like, should I fix this? Should I not? If I don't fix this, this will happen. If I do fix it, this will happen. So I think that's kind of what she's battling and dealing with in this situation. Yeah, I was cheating for several months, but I think she didn't want to lose the marriage, but she let her emotions get the best of her. And instead of kind of thinking it through, she just was like logic and critical thinking just right out the window. And she was like, fuck it. I want to just hurt this dude. I hate this guy. Blah, 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 blah. And then once all the emotions calmed down, she was kind of like, ooh, what did I do? I shouldn't have done that. That was a little too far. That was kind of something maybe unnecessary. Maybe friends and family are right. Maybe I should have just kind of thought about it a little more. And so, yeah, I get it. Like I said, I'm on both sides of the fence because, like I said, if I was in her shoes, I would have just filed for divorce and left. I don't care about posting on social media. I would have told friends and family, of course. But on the other side, I understand her thought process with it. She wanted to save the marriage. She kind of was thinking, oh man, maybe I shouldn't have done all this and I could have tried to save the marriage because they have kids, and that's another thing that kind of made her want to try to save the marriage after all the emotions came down, because then she really thought about it like, oh, we have kids. Now we're going to have to put them through this, and now we're going to have to deal with, living separately. How are the kids going to take it? She kind of really had that critical thinking after all the emotional shit. So, yeah. Whew. All right. Next, am I the asshole for confronting my cheating husband? My husband and I have been married for 6 years, and I thought we had a strong relationship. Recently, I discovered evidence that he had been cheating on me with his coworker for several months. I was devastated by feeling betrayed and hurt. I didn't know whether to confront him or not, but the pain was too much to bear. I decided to confront him and express my feelings of anger and disappointment. During the heated argument, I accused him of ruining our marriage and breaking our trust. He admitted his mistake, but also blamed me for not giving him enough attention. This is the first time we've gotten like a bit of the husband's point of view and like his thought process on why he cheated for so long. I like that. Now some people are telling me that I shouldn't have confronted him so aggressively and should have tried to understand his perspective. Am I the asshole for confronting my cheating husband in such a confrontational way? Okay, when you're gonna expose your significant other for cheating and infidelity and all that kind of stuff, you kind of have to do it confrontational. You know what I mean? You can't walk in there and act like everything was cool and everything was fine and, hey, blah, 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 because I feel like the other party is not going to take that seriously. They're not going to respect that conversation. They're not going to sit there and actually listen and have an intelligible, high IQ conversation at that moment, because in a way, they might play it off. They might lie in some regard. They might, give you the mental gymnastics and try to turn it on you. And I'm sure a lot of people listening to this right now, they're thinking, oh, yeah, he tried to play the mental gymnastics of, oh, you don't give me enough attention and all that kind of stuff. To a degree, I'm sure that was true. Now, what he should have done is maybe talk to his girl about it. Maybe he could have not necessarily stepped up, but just he could have made the relationship more in his favor, to the point where, take her out on dates, do things, talk to her about maybe, because I can guarantee you maybe she was the one that didn't initiate sex. And it was a thing where he felt like, I'm always doing the initiating. I'm always, asking if you want to hang out. I'm always the one to make things happen and stuff like that. And so I think he kind of felt drained with that. And I'm sure the person that he was cheating on with probably was that. It was a thing where she pursued him and he liked that. I think he liked the fact that, oh, this girl's pursuing me. She's asking me out on dates, and I love that dynamic. I don't get that at home. I don't get that from my wife. And I think that's why he said that, and I think she kind of summed all of that into kind of that small statement of, oh, he said that I don't give him enough attention. And I think it was more of that. It was more of, she didn't initiate sex. She didn't really initiate wanting to go out, wanting to do stuff together. I think she was always waiting for him to initiate sex. She was always waiting for him to ask her out on dates and go do stuff and come up with ideas and stuff like that. Because when you've been in a relationship or even a marriage for 6 years or even longer than that, a lot of times a guy is like, look, sometimes I want you to initiate sex. Sometimes I want you to be like, oh, babe, look at this thing on Instagram. We should go do this. Sometimes I want you to, maybe ask me how my day is and go through all that. Like, I feel like women, a lot of times they think, oh, it's the man's job to do all that stuff. Yes, in the beginning, it's our job to get you, but you have to understand it's the woman's job to retain us. If you're not adding the value that I need in my relationship or in my life, then a lot of times I'm going to look elsewhere and find that in somebody else. And I think that's what he did. He found it in somebody else. He found a woman who is actually pursuing him and wanting to be with him, asking him out on dates, asking him, hey, you want to go do mini golf or go to this restaurant or do this or do that. And I think that's just what he wasn't getting. And he might have not been getting that for so long in the relationship that it got to a point where he was like, fuck it. I'll go hang out with Shelby and see where that goes and do this and that. Of course, you could argue the point of he should have maybe talked to his wife about this, which I feel like he did, but in a way, maybe not, because a lot of times guys don't want to bring this stuff up to their girls just because it's a thing of like, I don't want to have to deal with it. She may be very combative, and looks at it like, oh no, I don't want to do that. I want to do this and I want to do that. I don't know. I don't know the deep ins and outs of the relationship, but I do know that in that situation, I can guarantee you he cheated because she just wasn't initiating enough in the relationship. And so he may have felt like, I don't really care. And then the other girl, I can guarantee you, was pursuing him, more than he was pursuing her. And so I think that's kind of what like clicked in his head and was like, ooh, that is attractive, and I think that's what led to him kind of creating a relationship with this girl for so many months. Is she in the wrong though? No, she's not. I just think that for a lot of these women, they should have, if it's multiple months and this guy wants a relationship, just leave, just get up out of there. Take the kids if you need to. I get it's going to be hard on them, but it is what it is. As far as the, am I the asshole for the controversial, or I'm sorry, confrontational part? I mean, it is going to be confrontational. Like I said at the beginning, anytime you're confronting a significant other or anything like that, it's going to be confrontational, and that comes with it. All right. Am I the asshole for confronting my cheating husband? All right, we got a little background. I, 32 female, recently discovered that my husband, 34 male, has been cheating on me with a coworker. I've been married for 7 years and have 2 children together. Wow, okay. I stumbled upon incriminating messages on his phone and confronted him about it. After finding the messages, I confronted my husband calmly and asked him to explain. He admitted to the affair and said it was a mistake and he deeply regretted it. He promised to end it and work on our marriage. However, I felt hurt and betrayed by his actions and couldn't help feeling a mix of anger and sadness. I shared the situation with a few close friends and family members for support. Many of them encouraged me to consider divorce, arguing that his actions were a breach of trust and respect. Feeling overwhelmed, I leaned on them for advice and reassurance. While some said it was essential to give him a second chance, others felt I deserved better and that I shouldn't tolerate infidelity. After some contemplation, I confronted my husband again, expressing my hurt and disappointment. I told him that I was unsure if I could forgive him and move forward, given the magnitude of the betrayal. He was apologetic and pleaded with me to give our marriage another try, emphasizing our history and family. Am I the asshole? I've been struggling to decide if I'm being too harsh or justified in my reaction. On one hand, I believe the importance of forgiveness and working through problems in a marriage. On the other hand, I can't ignore the pain he caused me and the doubt I now have about our relationship. Some people around me think I'm being too lenient in considering reconciliation, while others say I should focus on what's best for myself and my children. Okay, this one is beautiful. I love this scenario because we got all the information. On the previous scenarios, we didn't really have all the pieces to the puzzle, so I kind of had to play devil's advocate on both sides and advocate for both sides. With this one, though, I think she did it right. I really do. I think she did it right. She didn't blow him up on social media. She didn't go crazy and get all emotional and this and that. She did what pretty much I think the other women should have done. I get your emotions are high and, all of this, but like not the previous one, but the one before that, the girl did all that shit and then she regretted it and was like, oh, maybe I could have saved my marriage. Maybe things could have worked out. Because just like this girl and the previous girl, they confronted the husbands and they're like, oh my God, I fucked up. I'm so sorry. Let's work on our marriage and let's try to be better. And I advocate for that because for one, you have children and you really don't want to fuck up your children and fuck up their chances at a great future because now they come from a broken home and now they have all this trauma and, they're out here doing God knows what. Two, I think that it was good that she did lean on her friends and family not to destroy him, but to kind of get a perspective on things because the other girls are like, oh, I went to friends and family because he deserves to feel the consequences of what he did. And I think that's just way too far. I love that she went to the friends and family and said, look, so-and-so cheated on me. You know what I mean? I still love him. We have a lot of history. He apologized for it. He says he wants to fix the marriage. And, in a way I want to as well, but at the same time, I'm so hurt and the betrayal is so big. What should I do? And I love that she didn't attack him right out the gate. She kind of just thought it out logically. She thought it out with a sound mind and thought, okay, let me get some other perspectives and see where to go from there, which I really enjoyed that. And I think more women should tackle these situations in that way because she understands like, okay, look, he messed up, he apologized and he wants to fix the relationship. Now I need to get past my own feelings, and that's, I think, what women have a lot of trouble with is getting past their own feelings. And once she gets past her own feelings, I think she'll be able to reconcile the relationship. And yes, again, like I said previously in the show, put him on thin ice, check his phone, do what you need to do to feel comfortable in the relationship while giving him this second chance. Because she even said that one of the other perspectives was giving it a second chance. And I advocate for that. Why? Because they have kids. They've been together for 7 years. It's going to be really hard for her to get back out in the dating market, and then on his side, it sucks because now he's going to have to be paying child support, alimony, and, pretty much like having his reputation tarnished, having just a tough time as a man being divorced, and even for him, even out in the dating market, it might be a little tough because, being divorced a lot of times is a deal breaker for a lot of women. He'll go on a date and just, what was your past? Like, da-da-da. And it's like, oh yeah, I was divorced. And a lot of girls kind of look at that like, ooh, I don't know if I want to be with a guy who's been divorced. I don't know if I want to, and so it's going to be tough for the both of them when they could fix it and kind of work it out, and like I said, I understand it's tough. It's not going to be the easiest thing to just get past. But like I said, that's why I prerequisite do the things that make you feel comfortable checking his phone, having social media passwords, all that stuff. So that way you can salvage up that relationship and go ahead and, give your kids a 2-family home, give them the best opportunity at the best future. You guys can come to amends, at some point. Sure, it won't be tomorrow, it won't be in a day, it won't be in a week, it won't be in a month, it won't be even in a year. But think about it like this, you guys reconcile, get together, or stay together. And, maybe 2 years down the line, he's really proven to you that, hey, I can be the guy that you want me to be. I did actually fuck up and it wasn't as bad as you thought it was. You know what I mean? And everything's kind of hunky dory, but either that or you could divorce and then maybe try to get back together after that. Sometimes that works too. But I just love the fact that she didn't go straight for the jugular and post this on social media, because she knew she was like, I'm not going to do that to my kids. I'm not going to do that to me. I understand that there's going to be backlash on him, but that backlash is going to come to a degree on me and my children. And that is what I don't want. These other women, they put it out there and did all that, and then the backlash came on them and their children, and then they're looking stupid like, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I should have done it a different way. And then they're on Reddit over here crying like, oh my God, am I an asshole for doing this? You know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, you kind of are, because like, what are you doing? So, but that's going to go ahead and end that there. That was actually a really juicy episode, man. Thank you guys for watching so much. If you guys want bite-sized pieces of the podcast, then go ahead and follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Patreon at Am I the Asshole Podcast. I love you guys so much, and peace.